Welcome to Oslo. The Norwegian capital, located between the fjord and the forested hills, has such natural beauty, the envy of Europe. It also boasts all the facilities of a modern metropolis. It has real charm, and much of the activity here is naturally linked to those beautiful aspects of nature which surround the city. Welcome once again to Diamond League Athletics, to the famous Bislett Stadium. The first athletics meeting held here, in 1924. 69 world records have been set here over the years. It's a very special place. Packed house, all the world's great athletes have been here. Some have been presented tonight, and this, of course, is the third in the series, and it boasts a host of current world leaders, Olympic champions, world champions. Sit back and enjoy, and it all culminates, of course, in that famous Dream Mile at the end of the evening. So much to look forward to. And this award, this reward of diamond, will be of each of the events, of course. The winners over a series of seven will receive a diamond. But this crowd, Tim Hutchins, absolutely enthralled by the occasion thus far.
Well, it is indeed, yes. Ticket sales apparently have been flying for the last few days since the weather picked up. And there is a special atmosphere in this evening with conditions just about perfect. A little bit of a breeze. It was very windy across this Norwegian capital yesterday, but it's eased down today. The sun has stayed, and it's a warm, warm evening. Half the track, almost exactly half the track, just in shade now, and that will increase, of course, over the next couple of hours. But I've just got a feeling it's going to be one of those rather special Oslo nights, Stuart. You look at the races coming up, the Dream Mile, the last event of the evening, and so many races between this first race of the evening and that Dream Mile that have stellar fields and present some wonderful head-to-heads.
Little wind.
There is the line-up for the first event on the track, the women's 400 metres, and what a field it is. 6 from the world top 10 this year, although no Alison Felix, the fastest in the field. There are 3 Americans and 3 Jamaicans, which underlines the current trends in this discipline. Both nations very, very strong indeed. Olympic champion Christian Hurugu there goes in lane 6, of course. Rounding into shape as a Hurugu. Denisa Rosalova, and a big win in Ostrava 10 days ago. A bit of a surprise, that one, for the Czech athlete. But lane 1, well, I think she can be justifiably disappointed with that. She's a former world junior long jump champion. Manly Moncho of Botswana goes in lane 2. World Championship finalist last year. She was second in Doha 3 weeks ago in a season's best. Debbie Dunn of the USA, the world indoor champion. What a time she had in March in Doha once again. She went back there a couple of weeks ago. She was only 4th. Jerica Williams of Jamaica goes in lane 4. Silver medalist in the World Championships last year. Very consistent indeed is Williams. Good draw that. Lane 5, Novlin Williams-Mills. Pretty good form, 50.5 in Doha recently for a 3rd place. She's the fastest in the field this year. Christina Hurugu, there she is, the Olympic and Commonwealth champion, the world champion, of course, back in 2007. Good opening 400 metres in Doha 2 or 3 weeks back. Ran with a strapped leg in Ostrava 8 days ago, and then a pretty good 200 in Hengelo at the weekend. Demas, better known as a 400-metre hurdler. She won in Shanghai by well over a second a couple of weeks ago, but the American in lane 7 in very good form. What can she do on the flat? And then Monica Hargrove leads the lineup. Only 7th in Doha, but a huge improvement last year. Can she find her form here? She's not come anywhere near 51 seconds yet this season. Well, the smart money would be on Novlin Williams-Mills, I guess, in lane 5, who is so consistent. A few races under her belt already this year, but Rosalova in lane 1. Watch her. Won the European Club's 200 metres recently into a slight headwind. Not a good draw at all for the Czech in lane 1, who was the winner in Ostrava. Pull away without any trouble. and certainly gone up very quickly indeed, is Lashinda Dimas out in lane 7. Dimas has really taken this race to the flat specialist. Remember, second to the left, Dimas there is a 400-metre hurdler. We know she's useful on the flat, but my word, maybe she's running a little bit scared there. Has she misjudged this one? Inside her, you can see some measured running coming from Monchot and Botswana in lane 2, and Debbie Dunn of USA in lane 3. Centre of pitch, there's a real pack there, but it'll break up as they stagger and winds on this second bend. Can they pull back Dimas? She's a 400-metre hurdler, remember, really strong. It's in the pit, second to left, but going in lane 2 there is Monchot. She ran a very well-measured first 300 metres, and unless they can grab her back here now, she's going to come through and take this one. Going well there, coming through is Christian Ahuragu. Ahuragu almost gets there, loses it by a metre. I think Monchot taking it from Ahuragu, and was that Debbie Dunn in third place, I think, in lane 3. The winning time, unofficially, 50.34. But what a good run that was from Monchot in lane 2. She had the big names outside her. She gauged her effort absolutely perfectly after the almost suicidal running of Dimas through the first 300 metres. It was 50.34. It equals her season's best, and she's taken some big scalps there, Stu.
Well, the finish, it was absolutely superb, wasn't it? In the 5th lane, coming through very strongly, Noveline Williams-Mills to sneak the 2nd place from Monchot, who ran very, very strongly indeed from lane 2. A terrific run. A very, very good run indeed by Monchot. In a way, somewhat disappointing for Dimas. He went off far too quickly over the first 200 metres, ended up in, well down the field, certainly. Carolina Kluft, of course, Olympic heptathlon champion, world heptathlon champion, here in the long jump. Spanovic of Serbia in this long jump competition. Should be a good one. It's a big field. Kucherenko is also there. Now then, Nadia Gomez, world indoor champion at the pentathlon in 2004. Twice 4th in the World Outdoor Championships in the long jump. It's a very, very good hang technique. What a good start that is indeed for Gomez. Looks to be way beyond 650, which is a pretty good... that's a nice hang technique. A little bit of backward rotation in the final stages of that, but there's still some more to come there, you can see. Absolutely superb. We'll keep an eye on that long jump for you. At the moment, Kucherenko is leading, and then Gomez comes in to take the lead. You can see that 678. Kucherenko, this was an earlier jump incidentally by Kucherenko, and she had that Gomez 678 to beat. And as I said, she did do that. It was very close to 7 meters. Good leg shoot at the end. And in fact, it turned out to be 6 meters and 91 for Olga Kucherenko. Remember, she's achieved 7 meters and 13 this season, so here's a woman in very, very good form indeed. Anything beyond 7 meters is very, very good these days. Here it is, 691. That was the leading jump at this stage of the competition.
Confirmation of that win for Monchot of Botswana, 50.34 from Williams-Mills in second, with Debbie Dunn in third there. The first 4 under 50 seconds. Ahuragu was 4th. And those are the first 3. There's the Diamond League points being dished out, 4-2-1 for the first 3. And that's the overall standing, with Monchot leading from Felix, Williams-Mills and Dunn.
Well, the discus took place earlier. This Aretha Thurmond of the United States, she finished in 3rd place. Incidentally, Diamond League leader Yaris Barrios failed to produce a valid throw. But the throw of Thurmond, 61 meters and 80, it was her 5th round throw. She was 10th in the Olympics, 10th in the World Championships. 5 of her throws were over 60 meters. The 2nd place went to Blanche here of Poland. She threw a season's best, once again, so many of them are at this early part, 62 meters and 16. She was fourth in the World Championships in 2009 last season, and that throw, the third round throw, good enough for second place. Nadine Müller was the winner. Remember, she was sixth in the World Championships last season. The world leader with 67.78, she threw that in May. This 63 meters and 93, her first round throw was followed by 5 no throws. Big, rangy thrower, very active arm off that torque, that winding movement, but those feet move fast to leave that arm behind, and then it unleashes to 63.93, and there's the evidence. So she won, and that's all you've got to do. One throw did it. Well, there's the confirmation. Müller from Glank and Thurmond, 63.93, is season's best for Glank in second place. There are the remaining finishers, 6 to 8, and Barrios, look, didn't get a throw in, and nor did Brown Trafton either, and that's a big, big surprise.
Well, there's rather an idyllic vantage point. Not having to pay for a ticket, can you believe?
Well, the high jump is already underway at the far end of the stadium, and it's that's going to be a tough one too. We've got Blanka Vlasic there. There's Blanka Vlasic being introduced to this crowd. Big, big support here. It's absolutely packed out. There's the indoor arena, the warm-up area, which these athletes use before they come out into the stadium to ply their trade. So at the moment we've got the women's high jump and the women's long jump going on. The women's discus you've seen. A little bit of information for British viewers. In a moment I'll give you that about Jack Meredith, set a British junior record in the hurdles. 13.32. Well, I've given it to you now.
Blanka Vlasic, well, I saw her jump last week in Ostrava in the Czech Republic, where she lost, and she jumped at 192. Very, very out of sorts in that meeting a week ago. Can she find her form tonight? Well, you would expect her to at 1.90 m. That is a modest height for her. Let's forget that on the all-time list, Blanka Vlasic is number 2 with 2 meters and 8 centimeters from Zagreb last year, still banging on the door with regularity of that world record-breaking performance. But this is the informed woman, Shante Lowe, as she prefers to be called now, her married name, the new US record holder. That was nice too. She depends very much on speed. She's only 1.75 m. That's what, around 5'9". Short by high jumpers' standards, but gosh, did she jump well in Cottbus just 4 days ago. 2:04 and her 15th jump of the competition to break the US record of 2:03, which had stood to Louise Ritter since 1998.
Well, there's the lineup for the men's 400-meter hurdles. Tuxis, Manziel, Green, Clement, Jackson, Phillips, Tinsley and Gaiman. It's a very, very strong lineup. You could be seeing the World or Olympic final here. Right on the inside, a Norwegian. He's 28 now, the season's best of 51.7. Very tough with a time like that, but certainly to be running from the inside lane, never easy. It's very tight on these bends here. Van Zyl, the Commonwealth champion, twice African champion, is drawn in the second lane, 49.45 this season, but remember he's sub-48 at his best last year. David Green, strong start for the Briton, 49.05, just beaten in Ostrava by Karen Clement, but looks very, very good, very confident too. Did well in the World Championships. Karen Clement, twice World Champion at 400-meter hurdles. The only individual man to successfully defend his world title in Berlin last year. Second to Jackson, this man, in the last time they met. Sean Jackson, the world champion in 2005. In very, very good form. Showed good form recently in Manchester. Isa Phillips of Jamaica. 6th last time, 3rd in Ostrava, 48.87 this season. Always a contender. Mike Tinsley of the United States, 48.46. 4 men in this race under 49 seconds this season already. The event is moving on. Justin Gaiman of the United States, right on the outside. And lucky fourth in their Olympic trials, the United States Olympic trials, behind the 3 men that went on to get gold, silver and bronze in the Olympics. 49.17 is best. A reminder of the lineup. Toxis, Van Zyl, Green, Clement, Jackson, Phillips, Tinsley and Gaiman. The men's 400-meter hurdles. Well, no problems with the start at all. And Bashawn Jackson's gone off very, very quickly indeed. He's very much shorter than the man outside him, Sir Phillips, and he's leading at the moment. Clement going well. Green got a little bit of work to do. He's being chased by Van Zyl from the second lane. But Bashawn Jackson and the big man, Karen Clement, as they go through 200 meters. This is going to be a very interesting race indeed now as they all come together round that top bend. Now then, who will prevail? There's Bashawn Jackson. Inside Jackson is Karen Clement. These two ahead of the field. Bashawn Jackson coming away. Clement inside and Green having a very strong finish. So is Van Zyl on the inside. It's Bashawn Jackson and Karen Clement, and this time Clement's getting the better of Jackson. Clement gets it, Jackson second, and Green in third place. 48.13 for Karen Clement. He was beaten on the run-in last time out by Bashawn Jackson. Not this time. The big man has come back. 48.13. And that was a terrific run indeed. That was a much more confident Karen Clement coming off the last hurdle. 48.12, rounded down by 100.
Well, good racing out in front, and those two well ahead, Stuart, Clement and Jackson. But I was interested to watch David Green in lane 3 there. He ran very aggressively in Ostrava last week over the first 300, then died. Tonight he's done the opposite. He's come through strongly, albeit 6 or 8 meters down. But what a great race there. Jackson giving everything he could, and he's normally a fast finisher. He went out maybe a little too hard here tonight, running perhaps scared with Clement inside him, who ran the better judged race, I would say. And secured the win by less than a metre, probably. 48.12 to 48.25.
Kristina of Russia. A second attempt then for her in this long jump competition in the early stages in the second round. A little bit of backward rotation there. Not a bad jump off that, I have to say. Hit the board quite well, but doesn't quite get over the takeoff board. She's leaning back a little bit, and that'll have lost her a little bit of distance there. But it's still a very, very good jump indeed. Now let's see what it comes up at. She may well feature in the top 3 with that jump. 6 meters and 77. Yes, she is in third place. Well, there's the result of that 400-meter hurdles. Karen Clement, 48.12, season's best. Bashawn Jackson, 48.25, also a season's best. And David Green, 49.05 for Great Britain, equals his season best. Well, there you have the points. Bashawn Jackson and Karen Clement, of course, both beating each other. And now we go to the pole vault.
Yes, the vault competition held earlier on in swirling conditions, a little bit awkward for the competitors, and certainly there were some big surprises with Olympic champion Steve Hooker going out very early on at 5 meters 40, indeed, couldn't clear it. That is opening height. Third place went to the Russian, that was Alexander Gripic, with a 5 meters 60, which equaled his season's best. That was a first attempt. He cleared there, then had 3 failures at 5.70. This is Maltamur, who won in Doha. 5 meters 70 for Moore tonight. At the third attempt, good vaulting from the German, equaled his season's best. But Renaud Lavillenie, the revelation of the last couple of years in this discipline, Frenchman here tonight, clearing 5.40, 5.60, then 5.70 at first attempt each time. And this was his third attempt at 5 meters 80. And he produced the goods yet again when the pressure's on. World Indoor silver medalist had to settle for second, Baltimore. But Lavillenie there, World Championship bronze medalist last summer, on top of the heap here tonight with 5 meters 80. He had 3 good attempts at 5.92, the meeting record. That was beyond him, but it is early days yet. And the French 23-year-old, one of the smallest in the competition at 1 meter 76, that's around 5'9". Very, very good form indeed.
He made a point afterwards that he felt it was quite windy over at the far end of the stadium, and it did affect some of the vaulters. Well, Steve Hooker's having an absolute nightmare. There's the confirmation.
Yes, indeed, it was maximum Diamond League point for Lavillenie ahead of Moore and Gripic. The heights below those leaders were modest. Look at that, Derek Miles and Matsurik, 5.40, that's all. Steve Lewis as well as Steve Hooker, no heighting. Well, it's a truly glorious evening. You can see the crowds are soaking it up as well. There's a real buoyancy to the atmosphere in Bislett this evening. Here's one reason why. Carolina Kluft, sorry Stuart. Carolina Kluft, who is of course a young athlete who at the age of 27 has a career behind her already at the heptathlon, but this was always about her best discipline, the long jump. What can the Swede do here? Twice Olympic champion, 3 times world champion. She said she doesn't miss the heptathlon at all, Carolina Kluft. Well, no jump in the first round, 6.38, a fairly modest second rounder for there from Kluft, who is so nearly a member of the 7 metre club. Her personal best, although it goes back 6 years, is 6 meters 97. There it is. Some way to go just yet before we see the original Kluft, the old Kluft.
Well, in Scandinavia, if you haven't got a javelin or thrown one, then you're not either Norwegian or Swedish or Finnish. Finnish in particular, great tradition over the years. They're warming up, and we've got Andreas Torkelsen, we've got Tero Pitkämäki, we've got everybody who's anybody in this javelin competition. There's Torkelsen, and a man who has won the Olympic title twice, won it in 2004, again in 2008, and that is about to get underway.
As is this race, the women's 3,000 metre steeplechase. And it is a strong field indeed. Some 13 athletes out there. Looking forward to this one. Fastest time in the world this year, 9 minutes 16 by Gladys Kipkemboi. And she is in the field, the world number 1. She won in Shanghai a couple of weeks ago, former world junior champion. Frankovic, the tall pole there in green, watch her, very good on the flat. There is the world number 1, Kipkemboi. Only 8th in the World Championships last year, strangely enough. But boy, did she look strong in China last week. Chewa, also in this field, the World Championship bronze medalist, Milka Chewa. She was second in Shanghai, so an opportunity for revenge here over Kipkemboi. They're looking to lap here in around 73 seconds with pacemaker to take them out for about 1,200 metres, about 3 laps. Rofdahl, we saw just there, the young Norwegian around whom there is enormous hope. She's 3 times a European junior champion, twice on the steeplechase, but also at cross country. In fact, 4 times, 5,000 as well, just checking. This is a discipline where, as yet, the Africans don't dominate. And it's a discipline where the likes of Kowalska, with a personal best at 1,500 metres, close to 4 minutes, can feature. Adria Hyman of Jamaica will be the pacemaker, by the way. She's a sub-2 minute 800 metre runner, Hyman. So away they go then. Hyman straight to the front. Frankovic, the Kowalska, rather, the tall figure in green, in about 6th or 7th place, and immediately a little quartet of these Kenyan slots in behind the pacemaker, and their intention is clear. Rotich in second. Kip Kemoy now just eases past her shoulder. Chewa in 4th in the purple. Moeni behind them. Little Elizabeth Moeni, World Junior Championship silver medalist 2 years ago. And the pattern of the race is unfolding very, very early on, my word. Asefa towards the back of that lead group in purple is an Ethiopian 22-year-old. She was only 5th in Shanghai, 13th in the World Championships last year, so still earning her colours, so to speak. But we're looking for 73 seconds on the first lap. Remember, the water jump is an internal water jump. It's on the inside of that second bend. Those barriers for the ladies, of course, are somewhat lower than they are for the men, but they're still very, very hard indeed. You bang into those with a knee and you know about it. So a pack of 5 behind the pacemaker. And you won't get much better conditions than this. There is a slight breeze, I would suggest, in their faces on the back straight. Certainly the early sprint warm-up races we've had this evening have shown a moderate tailwind behind the sprinters on the home straight. Kip Kemoy, though, in the blue there, right on the shoulder of Adria Hyman, who looks to be doing a pretty good job. Eases them through after a lap and a half, but they are chomping at the bit. Kip Kemoy, if anything, wanting her to go faster. Kip Kemoy and Rotich in 2nd and 3rd then. Asefa still at the back of the group, just shadowing. And Hyman pumping along out in front. She is an 800-metre runner. Doesn't look to me too comfortable at this tempo. Indeed, no great record as a steeplechaser, it has to be said. She's only run 9:18.
Andreas Torkelsen of Norway, the last thrower in this first round, 90 metres just a week or so ago, in great form at the moment. That's gone a long way, and it dropped at the end. It looked so good, and then the frustration on his face. 82 metres is leading at the moment. He says he's not been quite hitting it. Very fast arm. You can see the body language, not right. He did hit it hard though, but it's all, the timing was not right. And it's only just about, as you can see, 80 metres. So, it's still to get a light, this one. Pitkamaki had a no-throw, incidentally. So, not a lot to report on the first round. Mainio, 82.73, is the leader overall. And so, in the high jump then. Vlasic, what a good jump. Well, Vlasic cleared that by a big, big margin. 1 metre 94. And that's worth well over 2 metres, isn't it? All first-time clearances one would expect thus far for the world #1.
Well, they've gone through 1,000 metres in this 3,000-metre steeplechase for the ladies in 3:01, so it is very quick indeed. If anything, a little bit too quick. They were looking for a sort of 9:07, 9:08 pace, but they're clearly on schedule here for something like 3:05, and that's why this field is spread eagle. Look at them in single file around that bend. Behind this leading phalanx of Africans, Chewa paying close attention there in the purple to the lead here, and now she takes the lead, or does she? Kip Kemoy leading on the inside. Chewa right up alongside her with 4 laps to go. In third place, shadowing her every move, is Rotic, and there's been a distinct upping in tempo, I reckon, since the pacemaker dropped out. So if anything, having covered the first kilometre in 3:01, they've accelerated here. And this is very, very aggressive running from Chewa down the back straight. She's taking the race to her compatriots. And we might be on for something special here, Stuart.
Well, Chantillo, the United States, the first attempt at 1m94. Trying to concentrate here. It's very, very noisy indeed. She's cleared at 185 and 190, and now going 194 to see if she can match Blanca Blasic, who's clear all the way too. Oh yes, oh yes. Well, we've got a good competition on our hands here. It's getting very respectable very quickly. Another look at that. Fine clearance, timing good, approach good, lovely movement across the bar. The timing excellent, and there's the record for you. Equal first.
Well, Chewa leads, and there's been a break. She's got about an 8-metre gap over Rotic with Kip Kemoy, the fastest in the world this year, struggling now back in third place. There's the gap between first and second. And little Chewa here, Milka Chewa, only second in Shanghai. She is the World Championship bronze medalist. Has torn this field asunder in the middle kilometre. She's pouring it on now. Not the tidiest of runners to look at, but this is a very, very naturally talented athlete. She ran her first steeplechase in April last year. She went on to win the bronze medal at the World Championships just 4 months later. How about that for talent? 6:03 at 2 kilometres. That second kilometre was a 3:01.9. And she has indeed kept it honest through that middle section. Skips over the water jump there. And if anything, is opening up that gap on those behind her. She's got about 15 metres now on Rotic. Kip Kemoy may yet catch Rotic. A couple of laps to go. But this is absolute 101% commitment from Chewa in the middle section of the race, when she knows she's got fit, strong athletes up against her. She really has taken it to her compatriots. There's evidently no love lost once the gun is gone. So Kenyans in 1, 2, 3, and in fourth place are Safer, the Ethiopian, who's running quite detached now, some 30 metres down in fourth place. But Chewa, not the aesthetically the most pleasing of hurdlers. She looks really awkward. But she said, I decided to switch to steeplechase after realising I couldn't make times to be competitive at 800 and 1500 metres. She's self-coached too, all to her credit. And boy, if she's worked out this race tactic herself, she looks so far to have got it very, very right indeed. What a talent. About 550 metres to go. And the way she sighted that barrier, skipped over into the water, almost stumbled coming out. Well, it suggests there's so much room for improvement. The Safer goes over the water jump, but what, 40 metres behind her, she's top of the picture. And you're looking here at a talent unfolding, Chewa, that might yet take the world record. Remember, it stands, if not in this race, then another race. 7:58, 7:59 at the bell. My word, it's quick. Remember, only one athlete in history has gone under 9 minutes, that's Skolnara Samitova Galkina of Russia, who took the Olympic title in Beijing 2 years ago in 8:58. She's still the only athlete anywhere near 9 minutes, and she's the one athlete to go under it. Chewa's not going to do it here tonight, but she is going to win, I think. She's got about 15 metres on her compatriots behind her. Rotic in second, is being run down though. She's been closed down by Kip Kemoy. There they are to write a picture. A battle royal for second place, but at the same time, so young Chewa seems to have dug in deep again. 200 metres to run for her, 150 as she comes to the water jump for the final time. And there's no threat to her now. She won't be caught. It's been a fabulous run. I should think they're shell-shocked, her compatriots in second and third, because what a tough performance this has been. All lovers of distance running love to see those races made honest, and she's done that tonight. Big hesitation before that final barrier, but I don't think she's going to be caught, despite the rallying of Kip Kemoy for second place. What a good run there, 9:12.67. It's the fastest time in the world this year by over 4 seconds.
It's 1, 2, 3 for Kenya with Kipkemoi in second place. Rotich in third. Asefa comes home for fourth there for Ethiopia. But that will remain, I'm sure, one of the big performances of the night. 9-12 in the women's steeplechase, and a front-running performance at that from Milka Chewa of Kenya. Fastest time in the world this year, and a meeting record to boot. And that is some claim to be able to make in this Bislett arena.
Well, that was very special, wasn't it? The race emerged very, very early, and the three principals got away from the field. But in the end, Milka Chewa Chemos, probably know her better as Chemos in the past, came away. She ran her first steeplechase, remember, in April 2009. Let me remind you of that. A point that Tim made earlier on, and it's a valid point too, because she's so inexperienced. She's come from 1500 and has greeted the steeplechase as her own. Yelena Sokolova of Russia, the third round and of long jump. So 6:56 and 6:60 thus far for Sokolova. European indoor silver medalist last season, and you can see the 7-meter mark there. It's not entirely accurate from where we're sitting, but that's another one beyond 6:50, that's for sure. A little bit untidy in the middle, doesn't quite get into the hang technique. It's almost schoolgirlish, isn't it? It's neither one thing or the other, but the point is you're attempting to avoid the rotations, and she does that, so that's answered all the questions. 6 meters and 68, so she's in fourth place. Well, Martinez then in this javelin competition. No throw in the first round. They hit that better, and that is just short of 85 meters, and that's got the lead. That's got the lead. Martinez looks strong. He's a powerful fella. World silver medalist in Berlin, you remember him for that. Unbeaten this year, I have to say. There it is, 84.35. First place.
Well, confirmation of that win for Chewa, 9:12.66, the fastest time in the world this year, and a meeting record ahead of her compatriots, Kipkemoi and Rotich. Asefa of Ethiopia, a season's best as well, in fourth. Good pacing job by Hyman there, by the way, the Jamaican. Well, in the Diamond League standings, after 2 meetings, 6-6-2, Chewa and Kipkemoi leading from Rotich, who has 2 points.
Well, the shot put finished some time ago now. In third place was Tomasz Majewski of Poland. You'll remember he was the Olympic champion in Beijing. And this 21 meters and 12, it was his second round throw, emerged as a season's best. Very fine performance by him. But then came Dylan Armstrong, also in the second round, a Canadian. There's some big fellas, but tremendous athleticism. Rotation, very quick, gets under it, good elevation, and that's just over the 21-meter line. And in fact, it was 21 meters and 16, just 4 centimeters ahead of the Olympic champion. Well, Christian Campwell, 20.65, no throw, but this is the fella that takes some beating, I tell you. This is the fourth round, and he is so dynamic. Low, fast, and then unwound, and look at that. That's well over 21 meters, 21 meters and 31 centimeters. His best throw that was. Have a look at it again. Lovely rotation, great control, gets terrific lift, and the elevation of the shot well, it shows you he can go way, way beyond 21 metres at his best. That's good enough to win. There it is, 21.31. So Cantwell from Armstrong from Majewski. There's the official result, 21.31, 21.16, and season's best for the Olympic champion, 21.12. Reese Hoffer there, look, 20.69 in fourth.
Well, of course, later on there will be several Ethiopians in the distance races as well, hence the Ethiopian flags and a big contingent in the crowd, as seems the norm nowadays at these big track and field meetings, wherever they take place, whether in Asia, the Far East, or indeed here in Europe. You'll get those Ethiopians going absolutely berserk. At the first Diamond League meeting in Doha, huge contingent was screaming for hours.
Peter Frederick, second throw in the javelin this. 76.85 was his first round. That's a good deal better. Now then. Unleashes that throwing arm, stops himself beyond going beyond that foul line, and that is 84 metres or thereabouts. 84.12 it is. He moves into second place. Pitkamaki and Torkelson yet to fire. Where Kala, oh, he's got a fast arm, this fella. He really got behind that. And that is a super throw. Now that's around the 85-metre line, as you can see. His best throw thus far, 81.42, had a no throw in the second round. This is third round throw. Really hit that hard. And that's right on the 85-metre line. We'll get the official results in a moment. Oh, there it is. He's in the lead, 85.04. Well, Blanka Vlasic, 1.97 m, closing in on that 2-metre mark. The world number one, the reigning world champion, indoors and out. Lost that Olympic title after a long season. Almost drifted into the bar. Now that, okay, it's a good clearance, but that wasn't a good approach to the bar. She just clips it slow. Look at that, very close, drifted. She'll make the adjustments, Tim.
Yes, indeed, and she'll need to, Stuart. She's got to get that confidence back. Talking away to herself there, getting advice from her coach and father. Now, Shante Howard Lowe, or Shante Lowe as she prefers to be called, 197. This is a confident, dependent event. Oh, beautiful. Yeah, she's really on top of her game. Very, very fast. Really drops the hip there, drives hard. She produces a lot of speed, and it takes enormous strength to convert that horizontal speed to vertical lift. But she does that well, and that's nice. Vlasic certainly knows she's got a fight on her hands here tonight. They're the only two clear so far.
That's a very good point you make, Tim, because there are differences in the approaches. You see, Vlasic is very rangy and slow compared with the jump that you've just seen. It's so fast, and you have to turn. The impulse has to be so great. The women's 100-metre hurdles. There's the lineup. Nitra of Germany, Carruthers, United States, Jusevich of Norway, Felician, Canada, Jones, the USA, Lopez Schleep of Canada, Ennis of Jamaica, and Wells of the United States. Right on the inside, Caroline Nitra, Olympic semi-finalist in Beijing, reached the semi-final in the World Championships in Berlin. He's got the inside lane. Danielle Carruthers in the second lane in a moment. $12.91 just to give you a time on this young woman before we move on to the second lane. Danielle Carruthers, fifth in the race, won a race in Manchester recently, looked very good over the hurdles. Kristina Vukasevich, the European Under-23 champion last season, incidentally, semi-finalist in the World Championships and in the World Indoor Championships this year. Well, Perdita Felicien, the world champion back in 2003. She got a silver in 2007 in Osaka. Lolo Jones, twice world indoor champion, went to Doha this year, defended her title. Should have been the Olympic champion, but stumbled coming off the last hurdle. Priscilla Lopez-Schleep of Canada, the Olympic bronze medalist, World Championship silver medalist in Berlin. 12.69 this season. Delarine Ennis, good record in major championships. Silver medal in 2005 in the World bronzes in 2007 and 2009. Kelly Wells, 12.86 this season. A personal best 12.58 a couple of seasons ago. Nitra, Carruthers, Vukasevich, Felicien, Jones, Lopez-Schleep, Ennis and Wells. The women's 100-meter hurdles. ...2003 world champion. Fourth in the last time out. Well, I'll tell you what, Vukasevich got a very good start. Outside her, Felicien going very strongly indeed. Felicien leading. Lolo Jones coming through in the centre of the field. Lolo Jones is coming away with this. It's going to be very tight. Jones gets it. Oh, on the far side, Carruthers had a good race as well. 12.66, but I think Lolo just got that. And that was very tight for second and third, but Lolo Jones, 12.66 for Lolo Jones. She came out from lane 5. Didn't have the best start, Vukasevich did.
Yeah, what a good run from Lolo Jones, but she is a quick starter. I was having a chat with her last week in an airport on the way back from a meeting, and she said she just needs to get her start right. Once she gets that right, she can put the others under pressure, but she was under pressure herself there from athletes on either side of her. Lopez-Schleep to her right, Felicien to her left, but she held her form well. Really, really good concentration from Jones. 12.66, the season's best, is indeed confirmed with a very tasty, useful following wind.
Yeah, they've given Lopez-Schleep the second place. It was always going to be tight. Felicien in third with the same time. I bet you that Carruthers was close there. 12.72, 12.72, 12.74, 200ths of a second. So they were all there or thereabouts. So Jones, Lopez-Schleep, Felicien, good race, good race. There it is, that's how close it was. Very, very close indeed. Of all those in second, third and fourth, Carruthers is the fastest.
Well, I'm glad she got that right, because she was quite down last week when I spoke to her, Lolo, but that tonight was very, very crisp indeed.
Well, this javelin competition is good. It's not getting the 90-meter throws at the moment that perhaps we expect in this part of the world. But let me tell you, it's been so keenly followed by this Scandinavian crowd. It's been a wonderful occasion already. Hits that really hard. Wow, that was a real hit. And that's another one close to 84, 85 meters certainly for Frederic. Peter Frederic, European under 23 silver medalist. He's in second place still, 84.47. Well, Mr. Pitkamaki, what can you do? The world champion in Osaka in 2007, got the Olympic bronze. Now, he's been trying to sort out his angle of release. He's not hitting the javelin at the right angle, that means. Now that, let's see what happened to that. And that is around about 85 as well. He's not happy. The timing has to be perfect here. And I just wonder, I haven't seen much of him this year, but that is going to see him somewhere up the list. He's climbed up the ladder a little bit. Obviously, he wants to be in the top 3. The spin, former world champion. Oh, he is third, 84.43, third place. Now then, Andreas Torkelsen is at home here. Third round throw. Still got to find something worth talking about. He hit that hard, he was a little bit happier, but the body language says it could be better, and it's about 85 again. Now then, he's got, just looking down at the list here, that looks as though it could be the lead actually, because it's an 85, it looks to be beyond 85. This is a guy who last week threw over 90 meters. It does look beyond that 85. I think that he knows that's probably taken the lead. Oh, it has. 85 meters and 68. He always says that, you know, throwing in some of these stadiums is difficult. The wind is, they like it slightly over their shoulder. But there's the current standings in the javelin. Torkelsen, Wikala and Fredrik. And that is after, what, 3 rounds. Let me bring you up to date now with the result of that 100-meter hurdles for women. Lolo Jones, 12.66. Lopez Schleet, 12.72. Felician, 12.72. Carruthers, 12.74. Season's best in 4th place. There are the points. Lolo winning both. He's got 8. That's a maximum thus far. Remember, there is a 7-event series, so we'll see.
Well, the St. Lucian record holder, Laverne Spencer, then under pressure here. 3rd attempt at 1.97 m for Spencer. Been competing very, very often in the last few weeks. 1.98 m already this year, though, a new personal best. Oh, no, but it was a good attempt. She's very light on her feet. Doesn't exude that power that Shante Lowe does, but she gets up well. Not a bad effort, but out she goes with 1.97. She has equaled her national record, as she would have done if she'd done 1.98 tonight.
So back to the javelin, and Mr. Martinez of Cuba. It's his 4th attempt. And he's now down in 5th place at the moment. Needs something big. 84.35 was his best throw. He held the lead for a while, if you remember. He's unbeaten this season, and always a danger. When you've won a silver medal in the World Championships, as you did last year, then, and you've got a personal best beyond 87 meters, 86.38 this season, then anything's possible. That's gone very, very high. Looks as though it's gone long, as it dropped very, very short in the end. The angle of elevation not right. It's a bit like an airplane. It just floated up and stalled. Looked good to start with, and then it stalled. You can see the look on his face. The design of the javelin has changed over the years. The center of gravity has been moved around to bring it down, because once the record, the world record, went over 100 meters, 104 meters, it got dangerous, particularly in this stadium. I remember Hone all those years ago almost putting to the sword someone at 200 meters. 77.15, well, we won't worry about that. Pitkamaki, now he needs a big throw to bring himself in. That's gone very, very high. And that too has come down, so they're obviously having some difficulties. He said he's been concentrating on trying to achieve the optimum angle of elevation. That's the angle at which you release it. It's all about leaning back at the right angle and getting the javelin, hitting it along its line so that it flies well. Because it does have aerodynamic qualities, and it will stall if you get it wrong. And it'll dive if you get it wrong in one direction, stall if you get it wrong in the other direction. That's not a very good series for the former world champion.
Friedrich lying in 3rd place, 84.47, the best of his efforts so far. That was in the previous round. And that's not bad either. Not bad at all. He opened with a very modest 76, then hit a big one, 84 in round 2, 84.47 in round 3. And that, well, it's about 83 meters. Won't change things, but it's very tight at the top.
Blanka Vlasic. 1m99. Leading the competition at the moment. Ahead of Shanti Lowe. Absolutely clear the spot. Oh yes. That actually, I make that 2 meters and 1, not 199. That is 2 meters and 1. She's passed at 199. I'm absolutely sure. I'm just looking down at the scoreboard, and that is true. Yes, it is. She's passed. That was not an indication she was going at 199. She passed it. Clear at 201. And Shanti now going to try and equal that. Danger is of drift. Very, very fast indeed. Couldn't quite get the elevation. Inside knee's got to drive really high, and it's got to elevate you. Doesn't quite happen there.
Well, she secured second place, Stuart, but with that failure, she now really should take her next two attempts at the next height, 203, because she can't change things by clearing at the second attempt now, with Vlasic having cleared first time.
Well, in the men's javelin, Andreas Torkelson leads. This is the fourth round. He's launched that very, very high indeed, and that's come down as well. And they really are having trouble. He's stepped on the line, so it'll go down as a no throw. That avoids the judges having to mark it. It's not really opening out. It's really rugged. I mean, you begin to, when you talk about this guy, you expect fluidity, and you're not getting it tonight.
Now to Gomes then. 6.61 in this long jump so far for Gomes. She's lying in second place, 6.78 in fact, her best effort. Needs 6.91 to catch Kucharenko of Russia, the world number one. No, that's nowhere near it, goodness me. It's down around 6.40. That's the fourth round effort, by the way, so time yet for the Portuguese.
Beste placering i internasjonalmesterskapet er sølv bak Kajsa Bergqvist i VM 2005.
So Gomes, a no jump there. Two attempts left for her.
Well, Shanti Lowe. One failure at 2 meters and 1. Passed at 199, matching the pattern established by Blanka Vlasic. She can't beat Blanka Vlasic, even though she goes clear at this height, but it would be a very, very good jump indeed. Oh, yes! Oh, yes! That was a super jump. Very, very good. Her personal best is 204 set this season, so she's been there before, but to do it against Vlasic, she did this in Cottbush, incidentally, 204, and it was her 15th jump of the competition to do that. That's extraordinary.
I'm a little puzzled, Stuart, I must admit. I'm not sure why she took that effort, but Kucharenko now, round 4 for the Russian. She leads with 6.91 from the first round. That's not a bad effort either. If we're to believe those superimposed meter markings across the sandpit. Very powerfully built. Nice effort, that.
Nice little hang technique.
It is indeed, yes. Good leg shoot too. Sits back in it a bit, falls back in it a bit, but well, 6.91 remains the lead. I don't think that will have improved upon it. But that does conclude the fourth round. Kucharenko looking anxiously just to see if she's nabbed another couple of centimetres. No, 6.75 in round 4.
It's a solid series though, isn't it?
Well, the big men are out for the second time this evening. It's the men's 100 metres final. They had their heats about an hour and a half ago. And of course, Asafa Powell of Jamaica goes in lane 5. I can tell you that in those heats earlier, he cantered to a 10.05 clocking with a slight tailwind. Gianni Martina of the Dutch Antilles goes in lane 1. Only 4th in his heat. He got through as the fastest loser. He had 10.11 there. But on his day, he's a good performer. 4th in the Olympic 100 in Beijing. Marshall Banjok of France, the Mediterranean Games champion last year, was 3rd in his heat in 10.09, very close to his personal best. In
lane 3, beside him, Michael Frater, another important cog in that Jamaican sprint machine, the World Championship silver medalist in 2005. He was second in his heat, and very useful, 10.08. That was the season's best. In lane 4, Jaisuna Saidi Ndure of Norway. Just pleased to be in one piece, I think, this man. He's been injury-free this year, but his 2008 season was curtailed with tears to both hamstrings, and he dislocated his knee last year. He was third in his heat, 10.09. Asafa Powell, there he is. He's won here 3 times before as the big Jamaican, in 2006, 2007 and last year. He's the 3rd fastest man in the history, of course, behind Usain Bolt and Tyson Gay. And he did look strong an hour or so ago. He's a form-time world record setter, don't let's forget, Asafa Powell. Richard Thompson goes in lane 6 for Trinidad, the Olympic silver medalist in Beijing. He won his heat in 10.08. He may be a threat to Powell, but it's a long shot. Sean Kimmins goes in lane 7. He set a personal best, the American, in his heat, 10.09. And then Lerone Clark of Jamaica completes the lineup. Tiniest man in the field, only about 5'5". He really is small. Got through as a fastest loser from his heat, in which he ran 10.10. Well, frankly, it should be a one-man show, Asafa Powell against the clock. Never say never, of course. But he's got his weight down from 95 kilograms to near 90 recently. That's since last season. On his coach's orders, he says, I've eased off the fried chicken a bit. Asafa Powell, he could have fooled me. Look at the size of those wings. So the men's 100 metres then. The meeting record, 9.88 by Atto Bolden. That's decidedly vulnerable this evening. The lineup again from the inside. Sharandi Martina of the Dutch Antilles in 1 to right of picture. Banjok of France in 2. Frater in 3. Saidi Ndure in 4 for Norway. Powell there in 5. Richard Thompson in 6 for Trinidad. The USA's Troll Kimmins in 7. And nearest the camera, Lerone Clark for Jamaica in lane 8. Powell is in lane 5. Watch his start. It's a crucial part of his race. Well, they get away first time. Great start from Powell, who's already in the lead. Head down until about 40 metres. Now he's up and in full flight. Good running behind him, but Powell's away. He's going to win this one by 2 metres and more. 9.72. It is indeed a meeting record here in Bismarck. Oh, but look at the wind. Plus 2.1. It's just over the limit. What a crying shame. What a crying shame for Asafa Powell, because he's worthy of that time in the form he's in, with or without that sort of following wind. He will be denied that meeting record, although it's a wonderful, wonderful run. And I'll tell you what, Stuart, there'll be some great place times behind him, because Saidi Ndure in 4 and Richard Thompson, I think it was, to his right in lane 6. The 2 men either side of the big Jamaican weren't that far behind. 9.90 for Thompson in 2nd place. Goodness me. And of course, maximum Diamond League points yet again for Asafa Powell, but denied the time he really deserves with that wind.
Well, he got the start he deserved, and he really worked for this very, very hard indeed. Frater was going well at this stage, so was Richard Thompson, and Thompson it was that came through to 2nd. But look at the ease with which he wins this. Thompson on the near side, Martina in the inside lane, in lane 1 taking 3rd place. But 9.72, what a shame, a point you made. The wind speed 2.1, and for newcomers to the sport, 2 metres per second is an allowable limit. Now that would be a meeting record, but it won't be a record. There is a difference. It couldn't be a world record, let's say that, but it can be a meeting record because of that wind speed. It's a great shame, really, because the man deserved it. With Usain Bolt injured at the moment, he's the number 1, and well received here by this Bislett crowd. Another look at the start. He really did get away brilliantly, didn't he? Thompson got away well. Martino on the inside left of the picture got away well. But at this stage, he really opened out, beautifully relaxed in the final stages. He's not proved himself in the big championship, except as part of that brilliant 4x100 metre relay. When we thought he'd win the title, he didn't. And once Usain Bolt took the pressure off,
then he was running better. He's running more relaxed. But when you think, Stuart, there's the winning margin. When you think that he set those world records between 2005 and 2006, those were his two prime years, the pre-Bolt era, you could say, pre-Bolt, and yet he's kept to the task, hasn't he? You do admire him. Asafa Powell then winning in 9.72 from Thompson's 9.90. Tarandi Martina 9.92 and Frater looked fourth 9.97. There's the Diamond League points for this meeting. Asafa Powell with 8 points for his 2 wins so far. Carter, Thompson, Martina and Paget also on the scorecard. Wow. Usain Bolt, of course, pulling out of next week's Diamond League meeting with a slight calf strain, a slight Achilles strain. We think it's a strain rather than a really serious injury, but I understand, talking to his agent Ricky Sims yesterday here in Oslo, that he will take a couple of weeks complete rest on the advice of Hans Müller-Wohlfahrt, the doctor in Munich, the guru doctor that so many of the world's leading sportsmen seem to congregate to in times of trouble. So Asafa Powell then has things very much to himself, and I understand too that Tyson Gay is carrying a slight hamstring injury at the moment. Some question mark of whether or not Gay will be able to replace Bolt in that New York meeting, which comes after next week's, just 48 hours in fact after next week's Rome Diamond League meeting. But he enjoyed that one, and good to see Powell at the age of 27 still churning it out. He is the most prolific sub-10 second sprinter in time. He's run under 10 seconds well over 100 times. Nobody else comes anywhere near that. And yet, Stuart, as you say, hasn't yet got a world gold, hasn't yet got an Olympic gold. Commonwealth gold is all he's got to show for his troubles.
Yes, indeed. Well, what a race that was. What a race. Very, very good performance, wasn't it? And we've still got a very much as expected. It's one of the highlights, but the high jump still going, and it's 2 meters and 3, the high jump bar at the moment. Two women clear at 2:01. Blanka Vlasic, her first attempt at 2 meters and 3. Incidentally, the stadium record is held by the world record holder, the record that she would dearly love to break, Stefka Konstadinova of Bulgaria, back in 1987. 2:05, the meeting record. Very tall. Very athletic. Establishing a rhythm, using the crowd. The eyes rehearsing the approach. Still got 2 more attempts.
That does, though, Stuart, open the door a little bit for Shante Lowe, doesn't it? He cleared 2:04, as you said, in Cottbus just 3 or 4 days ago. And while Vlasic still sits on the top of the pile, that is the first failure of her series, and just makes her a little bit vulnerable now. Shante Howard then, Shante Lowe. 2:03. This to take the lead. Oh no, but it was close. It got a little untidy. Maybe, I thought, maybe took off a little too far from the bar. But the height is there, there's no doubt about it.
Eero Pitkämäki of Finland needs to find something. Isn't finding it at the moment. And Pitkämäki really struggling to find form. It's only just around the 81-meter mark, probably a little bit more than that. He's all over the place at the moment. Ragged, there's no rhythm to it, and the distances are being demonstrated as a result. He's in, I think he's in 4th place at the moment. Yes, he is. got to find a bit. 81.93. Here's a 90-meter thrower struggling for form at the moment. Petr Fredrik of the Czech Republic. His fifth round throw in third place. A long pull on that javelin. Really was a long pull. And that's not bad again. He's got a good series, actually. Apart from the first throw, that is. 84.12, 84.47, 83.37. Let's see what he's done in the fifth round. Still waiting. He looked to be around 85, you know. He looked quite pleased with it, didn't he? Oh, I'm not surprised. It's 85.33. He's gone into second place behind Torkelson. Well, there's the lineup for the men's 800 meters. Rimmer, Roth, Choge, Som, Krishot, Kerwa-Yego, Lewandowski, Kaki, watch for him, Rudisha, there's David Rudisha, and then Sami Tanguy, who will be the pacemaker, I would think. Very much a part of the training camp of David Rudisha. He's gone over to train with him. Ransom there, the former European champion in the foreground. Interesting that Augustin Choge is in this as well. Choge, who won the 1500 meters, beating Kiprop in Shanghai, is in very good form indeed. He's got a 1:44.86 to his credit, and one would expect him to be a very fast finisher indeed.
Torkelson then round 5. Still leads with that third round effort, 85.68, but it's some 5 meters shy of what he threw just a few days ago. 90.37, remember. Very quick arm as he hit that one at the right angle. Does he get the distance? No. It's about 84.5. He doesn't like it. It's quite possibly further than anybody else has thrown. No, Friedrich 85.33 in this previous round is in second place. The lead of Torkelson, by the way, has been reduced to just 35 centimeters. It's very tight at the top with one round to go. Now 84.45 doesn't improve his lead or increase his lead, and there's one round to go.
Well, coming back now to the men's 800 meters, right on the inside is Michael Rimmer, European finalist in 2006. He was 6th in the race in the last in Doha, 7th recently in Ostrava, 1:45.96 this season. Thomas Roth, drawn next to him, the Norwegian. There's Augustin Choge, the Commonwealth 5,000 meter champion. He's got the full range, hasn't he? 5th in the World Championships over 1,500 meters in Berlin. Ransom, the European champion in 2006. Very fast 1,000 meters recently. He's a sub 1:44 man at his best. This is Adam Krishot, world indoor bronze medalist this season in Doha. Alfred Kerwa-Yego, gold in Osaka in 2007, silver in Berlin last year, bronze in Beijing. He's been there or thereabouts. Lewandowski, Olympic semi-finalist from Poland. He's a 1:45.04 man this season. Can't wait to see how this guy goes. Abubakar Kaki of Sudan, unpredictable, you have to say. He's got a best of 1:42.69, which he set here in 2008. It was a world junior record. David Rudisha, that tall, elegant figure, the African record holder, former world junior champion, unbeaten at 800, 1:43 in Doha. But he's run a 400 meters at 45.5 in Sydney earlier on this year. That's the sort of basic speed he's got. Sami Tanguy has been sent over to live with Rudisha and train with him, and he's designated the pacemaker. Well, they're saying 49 seconds to 400 meters. I just wonder. How will Kaki fare? Had such a good 2008, but Rudisha has emerged this season as the world's #1. The men's 800 meters. Well, Kaki always went off very, very quickly, and he's done so here. He's going into the back straight very, very quickly. I remember him, we first saw him indoors, and he really did have to, he did motor, and of course the pacemakers are having a job to get past him. But there you've got it. It's Tanguy, Rudisha and Kaki. Well, they're certainly going out for a fast one here. This is pretty quick already. They've really motored through the first 200 meters, and there's a big gap with Jago leading the trailing group. Kaki just latched on there to Rudisha. And we'll get a good time, 49 seconds I think they're looking for, but this is very, very quick indeed. Wow, let's get the time, 48.970, that is terrific.
It's just about perfect. I suspect Rudisha in second place has gone through in about 49.1, 49.2. He's got Kaki on his heels, there's about a 10-metre lead behind them, but Rudisha here at least chasing the stadium record, I would say, Stuart.
Well, that stadium record, of course, stands to Seb Coe. 1:42.33. It was when he set the world record here. There've only been 2 world records set here. Seb's was 1, and he's watching this race. London 200 metres to go. 1:15.05 at 600. Wow. And Rudisha is flying, and Kaki's not going to let him go as they come with just over 100 metres to go. Kaki straining. Rudisha looks tall and elegant. Here comes Kaki alongside, but Rudisha looks strong. Rudisha powering down. Kaki's coming hard on his shoulder. It's ours. Kaki's not giving up yet. Rudisha just gets there. Kaki in second. 1:42.06. And that is a new meeting record. It takes the record of Seb Coe away that was set when he broke that a world record back in 1979. Wow, but what a race that was. And to be quite honest, I have no idea who came third. They were so far down on this, and that was a brilliant run. Remember, the world record's 1:41.11, Wilson Kit-Caters, and this guy really is capable. To go through sub 49 and at that 600 metres, it was terrifically fast.
I'm not sure whether Kaki chasing him down the home straight was a good thing or a bad thing. It might have made him tighten up, but certainly it kept the pressure on, didn't it, for Rudisha through this last 50 or 60 metres. Kaki desperate to get them. They always say a good big man beats a good small man, and that was the case tonight. The winning margin, about a metre. Well, Kaki is still Rudisha rather, the 4th fastest man in history. The 3 ahead of him, Kipketer, Cohen, Cruz, have all broken the 1:42 barrier. And Rudisha won't get many better opportunities than that, although one could argue that he needs another 2 or 3 races in his legs before he's on absolutely top form. There are still people around who think this young man will take the world record this year. And on that evidence is that the stadium has cooled quite a lot. It's not cold, but it's certainly cool in the arena. I would suggest that's fairly likely. Fabulous race, really lived up to its billing.
It certainly did, and I just wonder now at 2 metres and 3 whether Blanka Vlasic can put the pressure on Chantillo. Actually, the high jump has really turned into a good competition. They've both failed once at this height.
Well, this to apply the pressure yet again on Chantillo, Stuart. That wasn't a good attempt either.
No, it wasn't. It looked a bit tired, didn't it, coming into the bar? She's not happy with herself there. She lost concentration, I think. Bit tired at the end. There was not the aggressive finish that we see from her.
She really came up through the bar as well. I don't know whether she needs to pull her marker back a bit or what, but it looks to me like she took off too close to the bar. Was still going upwards as she hit the line of the bar. And of course, that means the high point is well beyond the bar line. Now Chantillo, 0-3. This to take the lead. The second opportunity. Vlasic keeps opening the door. Oh, no.
Actually, that wasn't as good as the first attempt, was it? They've both got one more attempt, and if they both fail, then Blanka Vlasic will win on countback on the basis that Lowe took 2 attempts at 2:01 and Vlasic cleared 2:01 on the first attempt. There it is. They've both got one attempt left at 2 meters and 3. Now this is where the real test comes in. Terrific test.
Of course, if Vlasic were to win tonight, it's a degree of retribution for the loss at the hands of the American 8 days ago in Ostrava. They're still in the sunshine. It's over at the top end of the stand, the top of the stands over at the far end of the stadium. The rest of the stadium now in shade, and there's still a fair old breeze around Bislett Stadium. Vlasic then, third and final attempt. A height she's cleared plenty of times in the past. Yeah, she knows it's between her ears whether she gets this or not. She's angry now. She can channel that anger. She might yet go clear.
She has in the past cleared on the third attempt on numerous occasions, so she does enjoy that challenge.
You have to love this control of the crowd. Can't hear you. Well, if she doesn't go clear, it won't be for want of support from this wonderful Bislett crowd, so knowledgeable.
I tell you, that was close, Tim.
I was going to say, it was the best of the three by a long way.
Just couldn't get her heels out of the way.
They're never flattered by the slow motion shots, but it was pretty close. And now, one final attempt for Shante Lowe at 2:03 to snatch the lead. There's the lineup for this next event, the men's 5,000 metres, 12.5 laps of the track. I can tell you there are 21 athletes out there, and what a field it is. A dozen men in this lineup have broken 13 minutes. In history now, by the way, 73 men have broken the 13-minute barrier. Bislett over the years has seen 9 world records over 5,000. In the last 30 years, that is. The most recent 5,000 metre world record was in 2008 when Tironesh Dibaba broke her own record. The fastest in the field is Eliud Kipchoge. He's a 12:46 man. Look out, though, for Biwott as well. Winner in Ostrava over 3,000 metres. Biwott there in the blue and yellow in 7:31. Very quick indeed. There's a lovely little internal race in this one, too, between the two big American names, Bernard Lagat, the former world champion, and Chris Zielinski, the new star of US distance running, with a US record over 10,000 metres a couple of weeks ago, in which he became, and there he is in the green, Zielinski, he became the first ever non-African to break 27 minutes for 10,000 metres. It really was a historic achievement from Zielinski. He goes in this one looking for a huge improvement over his personal best at 5,000 metres. It stands at only 13:12. Well, I can tell you he's worth some 15 or 20 seconds better than that. Interestingly, by the way, as we see these athletes who do start in 2 echelons, Bernard Lagat is the oldest in the field by some 8 years. He's 35 now as Bernard, still going strong. A personal best last week on Ostrava for 3,000 metres, 7:32, although he was beaten into 3rd place. Now, what can these boys do for 12.5 laps tonight? It will be fast. Away they go. We're looking for laps of around 61, 62 seconds here tonight. There's a couple of pacemakers. First of all, Bethwell Bergen of Kenya. And then Remy and Diwa Limo, hoping to get to 3,000 metres in around 7:45. But I'm fascinated, Stuart, I have to say, by my first really good look at Chris Zielinski with his newfound status. He's in green on the inside, sorry, in about 8th place at the moment.
Yeah, his target is 12:56.27, which is Dathan Ritzenhein's American record, if I believe that's right. And that's the target he's set himself. So he's got to get in there. He is the tall figure. And if he can just stick with these Africans, then he's got a real chance. But he is class at 10,000 now. He's moved on a few notches. and we'll see how he gets on here tactically.
Well, it will be quick, believe me. They've gone through there in around 60 seconds at 400 metres. They come around this far bend from us for the second time. Important that the pacemakers do a good job early on. 62 seconds would be just fine. 62 seconds lap gets you to 3,745. There's Bekele in the orange. He, of course, the younger brother of Kenenisa Bekele, who is currently just recovering from a slight calf strain. Former world junior champion Tadeusz Bekele, 4th in the world indoors this winter over 3,000 metres. He's another massive talent, although still in the shadow of his elder brother. But they're moving well and on tempo at the moment in this 5,000 metres. Bergen doing a good job to the extreme left there. That's Shaheen, remember him, the world record holder still for the steeplechase. Saif Said Shaheen of Qatar, formerly of Kenya. Commonwealth champion a few years back in the chase.
Chantillo, a chance to win the high jump. If she can just clear 2:03 on a third and final, then she can beat Blasic. Oh, no. She knows that it was there. She could have done it, but it's not there tonight. But she's in second place on the basis of that second attempt at 2:01. Both women cleared the same height, but it all comes down to the number of failures. And there it is, that 2:01 with the little cross and the 0. That's the one that lost to the first place. There's the winner. Blanka Blasic wins again, but it was tough. Well, there's the final result then of that high jump. Blasic 2:01, a season's best for her, incidentally. Chantillo Howard, or Howard Lowe, I should say, 2:01, and third place 194. So that was, in the end, a good competition. But look at that, Blanka Blasic, 8 points in the diamond race standings. Remember, 7 attempts to see who can get the most points.
Well, we go back to this 5,000 metres and they're still ploughing along. They went through 1,000 in 2:32.85. Very good pacemaking indeed by Bergen. Can tell you that Kipchoge is there in third place in the purple. Behind him is Chepkok, the winner in Hengelo last Sunday over 3,000 metres in rather a wet and miserable Hengelo. But Kipchoge looks comfortable in third, Chepkok in fourth. Bekele's in fifth behind him in the orange vest. Then Bernard Lagat in that purple strip. Then a big pack, in the middle of which is Solinsky. As they come round now, they'll have... So they're coming up towards the 4 laps gone marker. Just kissing the ground, those feet. They go through 4 laps and around 4:06, so it's good pacemaking. Bergen, they're just accelerating away as they pass 4 laps. They're lapping at an average of about 61.5. Pretty much spot on, I have to say. It is quick though. Look at that single file for the first 6 or 8 men. Then a little pack of mix of Africans, totally dominated by Africans, of course, this field. You wouldn't want to be running too far off the curb at this tempo, would you? 8 laps to run as they come down in front of us now. And it's still Bergen leading. What a good job he's done. Ndiwa in second, remember, he's the next pacemaker in the orange vest. Then Kipchoge, Chepkok third, Bekele fourth, Lagat fifth. Very little change up front at the moment because you don't want to waste energy and be bumping and barging and shifting for position at this extreme tempo. They're moving at something pretty close to world record tempo. And they will start soon, surely, drifting off the back. They go through 5 laps there in 5:07 at 2,000 metres. 2:35 for that second kilometre. A little bit off schedule, I have to say. 2:32 set it up well, 2:35 doesn't quite hit the mark. Can they get back on schedule here with Ndiwa taking up the cudgel at the front? He's got a gap of what, about 4 metres, and we do have a new leader of the main pack. It's Chepkok in the blue from Kipchoge. Rotich is there as well. Shaheen, who's trying desperately to come back from those injuries which have dogged him for the last 2 or 3 years. Achilles and knee injuries in 2007 and 2008 have kept Shaheen away from a really high-level competition. Berger is in there as well in the all-black strip and about 7th place. But Kipchoge is a masterful tactician. There he's in 3rd place in the purple. And Stuart, I love watching Kipchoge. He's very composed. He always looks very much in control. There he is, 2nd to left. Bekele just following him, shadowing him. And Lagat likewise in 5th place there, looking strong.
Well, I also say that Chris Solinsky of the United States, for our American viewers, is in the mix there. He's looking good. No sign of any problem for him. He's managing this pace well, and happy to do so. And working off the confidence of his 10,000 metre running, I would think. We'll see what sort of speed endurance he's got as a result of that as the race begins to emerge.
Well, they were more or less 5:08 in 2000. That was 2 or 3 seconds off schedule. 6 laps to go. They've run a 63 there, so they're slowing, no doubt about it. There is a fair old breeze, I have to tell you. Looking at some flags at the far end of the stadium, so down the back straight, they should be running. It's quite a strong wind.
Well, the wind machine down there for the jumps, it's actually showing plus 1.6, so it means that they're actually running into a headwind of approaching 2 meters per second down the back straight, which is obviously taking its toll. I know that the pole vaulters earlier had problems with the wind. It's not entirely evident from here. And the flags, though, are blowing high in the stadium. We've got some evidence of what's happening with the wind, but it's not that bad, but we are getting those wind readings.
It's bunching at the front, or indeed in the main pack here, because it has slowed dramatically this last couple of laps, and that's disappointing. We were hoping for something here tonight around the 12:45, 12:50 mark, but I'm not sure if they'll hit that with this the way this tempo is rolling out now. And Diwa still leading. Chetkov in 2nd, Kipchoge 3rd, Bekele in 4th there. Lagat moving through. He'll be enjoying the way this is unfolding. 3,000 metres in 7:45. Well, maybe I should take it back, because that's pretty much what the target was. 7:45 at 3,000. And Diwa and Bergen before him have done a pretty good job with the pacing. But Chetkov now at the front with the pacemakers out of it. Kipchoge still bouncing along there in 2nd place. Bernard Lagat. This will really test his mettle here tonight. He's as much as hungry for that US record as is Chris Solinsky at 5,000.
I'll tell you what, look at Shaheen coming through. Now, I remember watching him in Paris in the red shorts, running that steeplechase. It was the most extraordinary 3,000 metre steeplechase I've ever seen. He stopped, he started, he went slow, he went fast, destroyed the rhythm of everyone else, and of course he is the world record holder now, and he's moved on to 5,000 metres with some success, and he's there in 2nd place at the moment, looking very comfortable. All of a sudden he got out of the mix, moved into 2nd place to get in contention now with 4 laps to go.
Look at the way it's bunched though, 1 mile to run, and you could throw a blanket over about 10 or 12 men there. Solinsky on the back of this group. When he ran his 10,000 US record in California about 3 weeks ago, he finished with a 1:56 800 metres. His final 400 metres was 56 seconds. That is world-class closing, especially when you think he was running 26:59. So Solinsky, just like Lagat, I suspect, won't be too unhappy that this pace is fast, but that it's just settling a little bit in this 3rd quarter of the race. Solinsky's in about 10th or 11th place at the moment in that big pack, the one athlete in this field that is not of African birth. It's quite an astonishing sight, really, isn't it? See Solinsky buried in that pack of Kenyans and Qataris who are former Kenyans and Ethiopians, and there was a Spaniard in there, Bezabe, as well. And I think he, a former Eritrean. They come down the straight now with 3 laps to run, and it's Chetkov from Kipchoge. They're bunching so much, wondering if somebody's going to go down. Bekele in 4th. They're just signalling to Lagat inside to keep away, because it's getting a little too cosy. 63.28. They're now moving at about 13:15 speed. They really have slowed a great deal, and this has become more of a cat and mouse affair. And that's a little bit disappointing, because there was criticism last year of the opponents of Kenenisa Bekele. Every time they raced him, people were saying they raced too slowly. They weren't prepared to go out and run hard, because they knew he could outsprint them. They preferred to go for the tactical affairs. And people have been saying today back in the hotel, some of the agents, that without Bekele in the picture, he's out injured, remember, maybe, just maybe, these athletes would go out tonight for a really quick time. 4 kilometres there, 2:38, by far the slowest, that 4th kilometre, and that really does take the sheen off any chance of it being really quick here tonight. Certainly I don't think it's going to be a stadium record.
No, I think the point you made earlier with Bernard Lagat is it has certainly played into his hands. I mean, he's the racer. His personal best is only just inside 13 minutes, and yet he's a champion, but in tactical races, and he's there or thereabouts in about 5th place at the moment. all bunching up. And he's got plenty of running left in those legs, certainly. And all of a sudden, Shaheen, who we mentioned earlier, has gone to the back of that group. Distinctive style of running he's got. He's hanging on to the back, but we know he can finish strongly. But the race, in the meantime, is emerging. And I think, if anything, it's probably speeded up a little bit at this stage.
Well, it should do, Stuart. We're in the last 800 metres. Chepkok leading. A group of what, about 10 has got away. 12, in fact, in that group. Solinsky is still there. I don't think he's going to run 1:56 in the final 800 metres here tonight, because they haven't really kicked in hard yet. Maybe Solinsky would prefer to, because I don't think he's got devastating speed over the last 200. More likely, great speed over the last 600 or 800 metres. But he's not going to get a chance to show it here tonight, because he's right at the back. He's in about 11th place at the moment in this pack. Bezabe, it is who's leading at the moment. And it's the Spaniard, the European cross-country champion last year, who leads. Bezabe from Bekele, from Lagat. The big man Lagat must be looking forward to this final lap, because this is a 1,500-metre runners race now, or is it? I don't think they've really taken the sting out of the good sprinters over this last mile like they could have done. Bezabe from Bekele in second place. Lagat third. Murger in fourth. And Solinsky certainly struggling. He's back in about 8th place at the moment. Lacking speed here to try and go with that lead group. As Lagat sneaks through on the inside. Oh, that was cheeky. And Bezabe there just being a little bit naive to allow him through. But it's Lagat in control at the moment, although Bekele hits the front. And it's anybody's race at the moment. They're boring on round the bend here. Bekele from Lagat. They're really beginning to stretch out now. Solinsky still got some hard running to do. Bekele kicks hard for home. And Murger, look at Murger on the outside of the black. Murger trying to come through past Lagat. Is he going to get there? He is, my word. He takes it at the last. Murger from Bekele from Lagat. The rest of them crash across the line. Rotic in fourth. Chris Solinsky there. Well, he won't have run too far behind Lagat. 12:53 the winning time. We'll wait for those splits to come through. Great pace making early on. It got a little bit lazy around the middle of the race when they started running 63s, which is way outside tempo. But what a marvellous race that was. And yet again, Bernard Lagat, maybe a race or two short to his sharpest form, Stuart. Just left wanting for speed in the final few strides of another big race, just like last week. He looks happy about it. Bernard's happy about it. But what were the times? 12:53 for Murger, the winner. Bekele 12:53. Lagat 12:54.12. It's an area record, of course. It's a US record. He's got what he wanted, Bernard Lagat. Remember, he doesn't hold the US record for the mile. That's down to Alan Webb. But boy, oh boy, has he got a record of sorts there tonight. Great running. Rotic 12:55, a personal best in fourth. The place times will be good in this one, but don't worry about it. Chris Solinsky 12:56.66. Wonderful stuff. A personal best by some 16 seconds. And Solinsky becomes yet another non-African to break 13 minutes. And I'll tell you what, Stuart, there's only about 5 or 6 of them.
Yeah, I mean, this was the point at which Bekele was under real pressure. He was rocking and rolling, wasn't he? And Murger, who's got a bit of a pedigree, hasn't he? Let's be honest, he was 4th in the World Championship 10,000 metres. He's got the strength endurance. And of course, he's obviously off that pace. He got speed endurance too. He was 3rd last time, and he wins this one. So that's a little bit better for him. So, good race. And it was a true run race in the end. Manio, the final throw in the javelin. Hits it very, very hard once again. Oh, that's around about 84-ish, according to the... Let's just check up on that. What's he done? Just waiting to see. He's got an 82 metres 73 throw. He's down the field at the moment. Oh, he's still in 6th. 83-81. The javelin drawing to its close now. Frederick in 2nd place with 85 metres and 33. Really had a good competition as the man from the Czech Republic. Remember how Jan Zalesny used to rule the roost from Czechoslovakia in those days when he ruled. We've got another good thrower coming through now. So close. Now then, Andreas Torkelson knows that he has won the competition. That's just over 82 by the look of it, 82.19. So they were not better. That 85.33, his fifth round throw, good enough to take. Well, there's your leader, 85.68, and that was the third round throw. Andreas Torkelson at home here. Big hero in this part of the world. He really is. Hit that a little better. He was a little bit happy with that, you could tell. And that is beyond 85 metres. Remember, his best throw, 85.68. Looks around about that. It's always a luxury coming into the last throw of the competition, though, knowing that you've won. And you've won it well in the end. Really hit that one. There's not been a terrible consistency in technique, but sometimes the conditions within the stadiums don't help. A little bit of a wind here and there. They like a slight tailwind, the javelin throwers. And what they've actually got is quite a strong headwind here today, gusting up to 2 meters per second at times. So, what's he got? Oh, it's his best throw. 86 meters, just to underline his win. Andreas Torkelson then from Petter Fredrik. Oh, there it is. Torkelson from Fredrik Wakala, 85.33. Season's best Wakala, 85.04. In the end, a decent competition. Distance is hard to find.
Well, that 5,000 metres, what a race it was. Won by Mani Merga of Ethiopia, 12:53.81, a personal best from Bekele, his compatriot, with Bernard Lagat setting a new US record, 12:54.12. And the great times continued further on down, as you can see. The first 10 men, no less, going under 13 minutes. What amazing strength in depth. Solinsky, the first non-African by birth, running 12:56, a personal best, but just outside the old US record. We can go now to the long jump. There's Naide Gomes in this long jump competition, and Gomes using 6.78 in the first round, and this sixth and final effort from Gomes, no improvement. Indeed, the winning jump of the competition, Kucherenko with that 6.91, her very first effort. She does top the world rankings with 7 meters 13, the 24-year-old Russian. Gomes had that pressure applied from early on, couldn't respond in the manner she would have liked. Solid enough series, that final effort for Gomes coming down at 6 meters 48. Far short though of what was required. Remember, 6.91 by Kucherenko, the winning distance, and the Portuguese has to settle for second on this occasion. There's the winner. And a solid series too. She passed her fifth and sixth round efforts.
Women's 200 meters, Medoriva, McLaughlin, Brooks, Ferguson, McKenzie, Moore, Jetta, Mothershill, and Floyd Broadnax. Right on the inside, Fedoriva of Russia. She's a hurdle specialist, incidentally. Most of her performances over the 100 meter hurdles distance. Got a best of 12.90, set a couple of seasons ago. 12.98 this year, trying her luck over 200 meters. The hurdlers do enjoy 200-meter runs. McLaughlin, former world youth champion at 200 meters, incidentally. She was fifth in the World Championship final last year. Sherry-Ann Brooks, the Commonwealth champion at 100 meters. Her best of 22.72, incidentally. Well, a familiar figure of Debbie Ferguson McKenzie of the Bahamas. Been around so long. An Olympic champion back in 2000 in Sydney. 22.96. Her best. Ashanti Moore of the United States. Semi-finalist in Athens in 2004. The 7th in Osaka, those World Championships. Now, Carmeletta Jetta, what a season at the end of the season after the World Championships over 100 metres this woman had. She won the Shanghai Diamond League 100 metres race, but this is different. This is 200. And she'll be pressured. Sidonia Mothershill of the Cayman Islands, 3 times a world finalist or Olympic finalist at 200 metres, been around a long time. 22.7 her best, incidentally. And Ebony Floyd Broadnax of the United States, 23.06. Her dad, Stanley Floyd, remember him? And Mum was 5th in the Olympic 800 metres final back in 1988 in Seoul. So, Fedoriva, McLaughlin, Brooks, Ferguson McKenzie, Moore, Jetta, Mothershill, Floyd Broadnax, women's 200 metres. Just waiting for the starter to call them forward. Soon they'll be still. Shanti Moore there, the 5th lane. Away this time. In lane 4, that's Ferguson McKenzie going pretty quickly as well. And right on the outside, Jetta going well too. And right between Ferguson McKenzie and Jetta, Lashanti Moore going very strongly. Lashanti Moore and Jetta outside of Lashanti Moore's running very, very strongly indeed, and she's going to come through with this. Jetta in 2nd place, and in 3rd place in the 4th lane, Ferguson McKenzie, the time 22.38. So that was a pretty good run indeed by Lashanti Moore. An Olympic semi-finalist. She made the final of the 200 in Osaka in the World Championships. She set personal best this season already, though, at 100 and 200 metres, 222.46 until that particular race. That's a personal best, as you can see. And Jetta, who's better over 100 metres, did pretty well too, Tim, on that one.
Yes, she did. I was just watching Lashanti Moore there on that bend. I think she might have put 2 or 3 strides on the line inside her lane into her left, in which case she would be disqualified. Wins it there by a metre. It would be a great shame, because I'm not sure she secured that much advantage from Ms. Stewart there from lane 5. But there's no doubting about it. She was really, really close to the line there. And if you so much as touch that line, then it should result in disqualification.
It would be nice if we could see that again on the bend, but it'll be very interesting to see what happens there. There's no judging down on that bend, I must admit, but she certainly went inside her lane there. So a little bit of controversy there. Let's have a look. Here we go. Have a look.
There she is, just beyond the purple vest, top of picture. In fact, we passed it now, I think, or have we?
Yeah.
Watch Lashanti Moore's left foot. There, that hits the line. Right foot hits the line. Left foot way inside her opponent's line. And
that is disqualification, because she's not in the straight way. You can impede someone's lane, not the person in that lane, but that's disqualification. Now, whether she gets disqualified or not, well, we'll wait and see. But clearly, that she was still running the bend, and that the actual 200 metres is measured about a foot from the inside of the lane. We'll see. Well, at the moment, she's still there. Lashanti Moore at 22.38. She's lucky. Carmeletta Jetta, 22.54. Debbie Ferguson McKenzie, 22.89. There may be an appeal. We shall see, but maybe not. Clear inside her lane, well inside. There's the overall situation in that event. Karen Stewart, of course, in 2nd place. Carmeletta Jetta. Well, I just wonder.
I don't think you can accept that, Stuart, when you've got clear video evidence.
Well, let me just update you on the result of that superb men's 800 metres. David Rudisha, 1:42.04, world-leading time, stadium record. Look at Kaki, 1:42.23, a national record in 2nd place. 2 men, absolutely world class. There are the rest.
Yeah, yet another great race. And there's those Diamond League standings with Rudisha. 8 points from 2 wins in the Diamond League so far, ahead of Kaki and Kiprop and Lalu.
Sub 49 for first 400 metres, 1:15 at 6. It was on, wasn't it? I mean, it was absolutely stunning.
And I think we've got to acknowledge too that, you know, it is early days in this 2010 season. Just the 4th of June, these guys will sharpen up a lot yet. Well, there's one final track event in the programme, and it is the Dream Mile. It used to be held at midnight, nowadays a little bit earlier, but nonetheless a wonderful competition in prospect.
Olga Kucharenko, 691. Nedis Gomez, 678. Season's best. In second place. Oh, there's Carolina Kluk, just to bring you up to date. 638. Not finding that form that we associate with her normally. But in the end, a good competition. It went very much with the form book, actually. Lots of youngsters in the opening ceremony earlier on today. Absolutely enjoying this. And we now reach the climax of yet another wonderful Bislett Games. Remember, it's a stadium that's seen 69 world records. We're not going to see a world record, I wouldn't think, but it's got such history, and so has this race, Tim.
It has indeed, yes. You look at the list of winners of this race since 1978, when it was first held and won by Wilson Wager of Kenya. Well, it's like a who's who of the great world of distance running. I can tell you that 6 British athletes, 6 different British names have won the Dream Mile. That's far more than any other nation. 3 different Kenyan names, 2 American names. No other European, apart from a Briton, has ever won the Dream Mile here in Oslo in some 20 or 25 attempts. But there is the lineup, and what a strong field it is. Did I say Mekkonen is the defending champion, so to speak. Won here last year. World Championship silver medalist in Berlin last season. Andy Baddeley, well, he won the previous year. Andy Baddeley, the most recent of those 6 British winners in 2008, winning here in 3:49. But it's a big field. Some 14 athletes with 2 pacemakers, Cheboy and Esho, due to take them out at 1:52 pace. There's Kiprop, and he, of course, is the Olympic champion now. I rather think it would have been nice to have been awarded his gold here tonight in one of the great cathedrals of middle distance running. Just 20 years old, but he, of course, is the gold medalist because of Rashid Ramzi's subsequent disqualification from that final in Beijing. Holusa, well, the Czech has to be nervous. The 22-year-old has never run a mile before, better known as an 800-metre runner. There is, dare I say, Mekkonen, world indoor champion twice now, in 2008 in Valencia and this year in Doha. Great championship performer. And the pace will be quick. Andy Baddeley, who ran 800 metres in Ostrava last week, was saying he's really looking forward to tonight. He feels he's in good enough shape. He's one of those athletes who tends to go out a little bit conservatively and then come through towards the end. But look out too for Gebra Medin, who's a 350 miler. Higuero of Spain, he might be another one to challenge here. 352 miler is Higuero. Oh, a bit of a delay before they get this field underway. Jeffrey Rono, by the way, is a former world junior record holder for the indoor mile. He's run 3:58 indoors. Well, away they go. Steve Cram and Seb Coe, interested spectators here in the stadium. They were both presented to the crowd before the international programme got underway, and they have gone off very quickly indeed. Goodness me, they blasted through this first 200 metres. Al Ghani, that is, out in front. Mohamed Al Ghani of Qatar. He's just 17 years old. Kiprop there in the black, the Olympic champion. Took that Olympic title when he was just 19 years old. Back in about 5th place at the moment. Al Ghani settles down there and allows the 2 pacemakers to actually get somewhere near the front. We're looking for around 55 seconds for this first lap. Remember in Shanghai last week, a couple of weeks ago, they went out 53.8 for the first lap, and I've had a couple of discussions with agents who didn't think it was too quick. I thought it was, but the pacemakers here have blasted through 400 metres in 52.89, and that I can assure you is too quick, and that's why there's gaps there, and that's a shame. Esho from Cheboy, from Al Ghani. Mekkonen leads the rest of the pack with Kiprop, the Olympic champion, in 5th place.
I was very impressed with Kiprop over 800 metres in Doha against Rudisha. He's just outside 1:43, so he's got that basic speed. He certainly has, and being the Olympic champion, he was 2nd in the 1500 metres in Shanghai. He's got all the armour. He's a tall, gangly figure who may well come through into this race. He's got such a strong finish, and if anything, in Shanghai left it far, far too late to come back to challenge.
Well, it's a shame, but the pacemaker's gone all awry here tonight over the first half of this one. 52 seconds at 400 metres. Algani blasting through the first 150 like a man possessed. And the pack really are some 8 or 10 metres behind the pacemakers. Mekkonen, it is in blue, who goes through now at 800. He's 150 at 800 metres. That second lap, 58 seconds. Goodness me. It's the second time this season we've seen some crazy pacemaking, and that's a great shame. We don't have pacemakers at all, and many people don't approve of it, of course, but they've got to do the job better than that. Kiprop just easing along at the front of the pack there as Algani, who, if we're to believe that the stats, is just 17 years older, Arab junior champion at 800 and 1500 this year, giving a good account of himself. They go through 1,000 there and around 224, the main pack, some way outside of what was they were looking for. They were looking for around 221, but now they're beginning to bunch together. Cheboy is at the front, the second pacemaker. He won the 1500 metres last year in this meeting, but athletes like him can earn more money as pacemakers than they can as also runs in the middle distances. They come down the straight. Cheboy now needs to move out the way. Mekkonen at the front, looking to retain his title. Gebramedin right behind him, and Algani in third place as they hit the bell there. 252 at 1200 metres. That's actually not a bad split for 1200. The fact is, it's the manner in which they got there that's done the damage. But we have a pack of 8 men now going into the back straight, and it's still Mekkonen hanging on to that lead. He's not a particularly attractive looking runner, but he covers the ground very effectively. Kiprop in third place. Those long legs have such a languid, raking stride. Doesn't really look like he's working hard compared with Mekkonen out in front. But there's 200 to run. It's Mekkonen, and he's under some pressure here. It still belongs to any one of 5 men this race, maybe more, as they come round the bend into the straight. Mekkonen's leg seems to have gone. He's shot at, he's gone. And it's Gebramedin at the front, smiling as he comes off the bend there. Now it's a grimace. And here comes Kiprop, the Olympic champion, pouring it on. Power exuding from this narrow, thin man as across the line. It's quite extraordinary. 3:49.57. Just gets it there from Gebramedin. The rest of them coming through in what has to have been one of the most untidy, somewhat chaotic 3 miles for many a year. Pacemaking was absolutely awful. 52 seconds and then 58 seconds for those first 2 laps. And that does not help the field one bit. Indeed, it's quite a burden. Kiprop, because of his class, because of his enormous ability, able to withstand that challenge better than the rest of the pack, Stuart.
Yes, he did, and he was my favourite for the race if he stayed in contention. He got closer to the lead off the final bend this time. He was way behind in Shanghai and paid the penalty. He didn't make the mistake tonight, and of course he has the championship pedigree to work on as well. Just outside 143 at 800 metres. He's got all the armoury, this man. 3:49.56. Powerful finish off a very erratic pace. Look at that. Big smile on his face, looking at the clock. Yeah, you're under 350, that's good. And he's taken another scalp here.
Didn't really look like he was training, did he?
No, but that was a great run, it really was. I know it's an erratic race in the end, but...
Well, 3:49 for Kiprop, 3:49.56 with personal bests for the second and third places, Gebramedin and Kathimba. Only those first 2 going under 3:50. Teresa Mekkonen. Well, tonight it wasn't his night. He finished up in 6th place, and the legs really went there because he came off the final bend and they began to accelerate past him. Andy Baddeley didn't have a good night here either by his standards after a 1:47 run in Hengelo last week, which I thought might set him up quite well for this. The conditions in Hengelo were awful at the weekend. Andy thought it was worth a 1:56. But it was another Kenyan winner here tonight, as well Kiprop from the Ethiopian Mekkonen Gebramedin.
Well, it's been a good night, hasn't it? A good night of performances as Kiprop signs his umpteenth fans book, and it's great for him and it's great for the fans to get so close, and this stadium does lend itself to that. Let's have a look at some of those before. There's the mile result, Tim.
Yes, indeed. Kiprop winning 3:49. That winning time, remember. Mekkonen second place. Gebramedin, I should say. Kathimba third. Biwa Tanui in 4th. Andy Baddeley outside 4 minutes here tonight.
There's your diamond race standings for the mile, although that will come under 1,500 metres. Well, let's look at some of the performances tonight. Certainly I was impressed by Karen Clement. I was very impressed with Chewa in that steeplechase. Lolo Jones in the 100-metre hurdles. Asafa Powell in the 100 at 9.72. Just wind assisted at 2.1. David Rudisha and a marvellous 800 metres, 1:42.04. And of course, Kaki breaking his national record at 1:42.23. Lashonte Moore very lucky to win the 200 metres. Merger in that wonderful 5,000 metres. 10 men under 13 minutes in that 5,000 metres. And Asbel Kiprop winning the Dream Mile in the end. It was a terrific performance, and we enjoyed it. Next up, it's Rome. From Tim Hutchins and Stuart Story, it's goodbye.